Another African American shot, killed by police. Appears to be.
Firearm. Okay. Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
African Americans account for 24% of fatally shot and killed by the police, despite being just 13% of the U.S. population.
Richard Walker Sr.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
How long have you been a police officer?
Approximately almost 15 years total.
What made you want to become a police officer?
Just something that I felt as a kid. I knew early on in my life that I was going to be a law enforcement, probably as early ages of about 5.
How do you feel about black people being shot and killed by police?
I believe any person being shot and killed by police is a tragedy. I think that it's often misconstrued as black folks or African American males or females or in general are killed at a higher rate than any other race.
On November 15th, 2015, police officers claimed that Clark grabbed for their gun while the officers were arresting him, so they shot him. On October 17, 2010, an officer shot Henry through the windshield of his car as he drove during a chaotic altercation. On July 17, 2014, Garner was trying to stop a fight, but the police thought he was selling illegal cigarettes. Then they argued and the police officer choked him to death. On August 9, 2014, Brown was shot by Officer Wilson after an altercation inside Wilson's car. Wilson reported that Brown looked like a demon. They thought he was a suspect in a strong-arm robbery of a convention store. On September 7, 2012, Chavez was shot and killed by police as he was fleeing armed men attempting to rob the place he worked at. September 14, 2013, Farrell crashed his car and knocked on the door of a nearby house. The woman inside called the police. Police said that when Farrell was apprehended, they shot him 10 times. On July 6, 2016, Castro was pulled over as a part of a traffic stop. The officer thought Castro was reaching for his gun and shot him 7 times. On July 5, 2016, the officers were attempting to control Sterling's arms and Sterling was shot by them after reportedly reaching for the gun in his pocket. On January 4, 2008, Wilson was killed when a Lima police SWAT team raided her house to try to arrest her boyfriend on drug charges. November 25, 2006, the night before Bell's wedding, Bell and his friends attempted to flee the scene of escalating tension with the police. The police fired about 50 shots into Bell's car, killing him in the process. On January 1, 2009, while Grant was laying face down, resisting arrest, a police officer shot him. The officer claimed he meant to tase Grant. June 14, 2012, police chased Davis in a stolen car through East Flatbush until it crashed. In the ensuing struggle at the vehicle, one officer fired one shot, killing Davis. She was unarmed.
What kind of training do you do to go through to be a police officer?
You go through a lot of training. First, you start with graduating from high school, and then you go to college for a minimum of a 2-year degree, which is actually 3 years because it's 2 years academic and then 2 semesters in skills. And then you pass a post-test, which is similar to the bar exam for lawyers, but it's a post-test for police. And then once you pass that, you get hired. Depending on the department you get hired with, some academies are longer than the others. Some have a 2-week academy, whereas big departments such as Minneapolis or St. Paul, we have about 16-week academies.
How has your training taught you to go about traffic stops?
Well, every year our approach changes just a little bit based on statistical facts, based on trends. Um, to me, the best training is actually on the job training. It's not something that you could just teach in a classroom. The on the job experience of actually doing traffic stops. As you do them, you develop a flow, you develop your rhythm, you develop maybe some characteristics about yourself that you didn't know you had. You develop a good pattern to deal with people, and you develop a officer's sense of safety.
What did you do when you felt threatened?
I did the best thing I could do, and I reverted to my training. Sometimes taking a step back and waiting for help to get there is a way to go. Sometimes you don't have that luxury. Sometimes, just making sure your commands to the people in the vehicle are clear and concise, and making sure they understand the level of intensity in your voice, which is known as command presence. Make sure they understand that what you say, you mean business, and they're not to deviate from anything you're telling them.
In 2015, the rate of black people being killed has went up drastically.
Don't get me wrong, I won't pretend that no, police departments ain't without sin. I think that, one, we're all human, so we all make mistakes. And some police officers can own up to the mistakes they make too. But I think to bridge that gap between community and the police-based police department, I think it would do a tremendous bond for some of these people to actually see what it's like a day in a life police officer.
I want you guys to go out to your community centers and start an event where kids and police officers can interact with each other to get to know each other more on a personal level and not just someone in a uniform. Thank you.